All right, chat. What's good, bro? Today we low key cut back on the brain rot a little bit, bro. We cut back on the brain rot a little bit. We got the craziest. Oh shit. The crazy fuck. The craziest philosophical theories explained in 14 minutes. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. There's like, bro, I low key wanted to go philosophical when I go to school, bro. Like, I wanted to like major up in that bit, but it's like, yo, it gets a little bit like overwhelming and confusing, and I know I'm gonna fail that shit, bro. But it's actually a very like interesting topic though, cause I really be getting like into this shit, bro. Like G shit.
Boltzmann brain. Boltzmann brain is a thought experiment that suggests that given enough time, a self-aware brain could randomly form in the universe due to quantum fluctuations. This hypothetical brain would have memories and perceptions of really living in a structured reality, even though it is just a temporary, random occurrence in a chaotic universe. This theory asks if it's more likely for the universe to exist, with all its complexity, or for a single brain with false memories to appear randomly. If the latter is more probable, it
So a random brain generates in space and that's my life? Like this is what I'm saying. Like niggas come up with interesting fucking theories, bro. Like G shit. Niggas really be thinking out the
implies
box
that
with this
everything
shit.
you experience might just be a brief hallucination by a Boltzmann brain. Solipsism. Solipsism is the idea that only your own mind can be known for sure to exist. According to this theory, the outside world, other people, objects, and events cannot be definitely proven to exist beyond your own.
Yo, I thought about this, bro. Gang, I've thought about this for the longest, bro. Like I thought about this shit for years. Every single time when I'm by myself, I'm like, yo, what if like I'm the only real nigga here and like yo all of you niggas are like NPCs or some shit. Like don't y'all ever think about like you're the only real brain in the said world that you live in and everyone else is like an NPC or like they're not like with your type of brain weight like on some shit like that, bro. Yo, gang. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a really like interesting thing. But then again, I feel like this shit has been heavily debunked. Going into 2026, this shit has been heavily debunked. I think this shit's been heavily debunked since like I don't even know 2024, bro. Cause niggas act out their body that make it seem like, oh, these niggas are not like NPCs for real,
Perception.
bro.
This is because all experiences are subjective, meaning they are understood through your individual mind. So while you may see and interact with the world, solipsism questions if the world actually exists on its own, or if it's all just created by your mind. You have no way to know. The teletransportation paradox. The teletransportation
Low key, hold on, and I'm sorry for pausing. Low key, that's how you get into derealization, bro. Yo, for y'all niggas who don't know what derealization is, that's when like you start to realize like, yo, am I even like real? Like you start to like think like your name isn't real, you aren't the person you think you are, bro. Yo, if you like think about that shit too much, you'll actually get put into some derealization, and that shit is not fun, bro. I had derealization before. Fucks no, bro. That shit is not fun, bro.
paradox is a thought experiment that explores the implications of teleportation and identity. Imagine a teleportation device that scans a person's entire body and mind, mapping every atom and neural connection. The device then transmits this information to another location, where a new, identical body is constructed,
Right.
perfectly replicating the original person, including their memories and personality. The paradox arises when considering what happens during this process. Is the person who arrives at the destination the same individual who entered?
No, it's not. No. Fuck no. No. If you have me, right? And you could literally replicate myself to the perfect fucking atom. All my memory, you can replicate me to down to the minute details and get rid of me. That's still not me. That's still not me. I am, bro, this is gonna sound fucking crazy. It's gonna sound fucking crazy, but I am me, right? Everybody is a one of one of, it doesn't matter how it can be down to the minute percentage detail. Fuck no, that is still not you, bro. No, that's still not you.
The teleportation machine? If the original person is disassembled at the point of departure, is that person
Rick and Morty is actually like good at proving this shit wrong too. I'm not gonna lie.
effectively killed? If so,
Yes, I'm
then the
on my
new
geek
person
shit. Shut the
created
fuck
at the
up.
destination, while identical in every way, is technically a different individual. The egg theory. The egg theory is a thought experiment that suggests that every person who has ever lived or ever will live is actually the same being, experiencing life in different forms and at different times. The theory proposes that when a person dies, they are reincarnated as another person without any memory of their previous lives. This process continues until that being has lived every human life in existence. According to the theory, the universe exists as an egg, a place for this single being to grow and mature through the experience of living many lives. Once all lives have been lived,
So theoretically, that means this specimen right here, this is gonna sound crazy, but theoretically, that means this specimen right here is a racist, homophobic, narcissistic piece of shit. Bro, if think about it, think about it, think about it. Hold on, think about it, think about it. If this creature or whatever the fuck is in the egg and it's able to actually live through the people, not just like be in spectator mode, but actually cause actions and voices through the people, this nigga has the worst PR you could ever fucking imagine, bro. He could have some of the best PR, but also some of the worst fucking PR.
the individual reaches a higher state of consciousness and becomes like a god, completing their spiritual evolution. Just as the universe, in this theory, is designed for growth and evolution, so too is every business. In my opinion, you can't really manage to do so efficiently without today's sponsor, Odoo. Odoo is a judgment. All Odoo is. Hosting some domains as anything would be, have to look and try description docs.
W Snipe.
The omnipotence paradox is a thought experiment that challenges the concept of omnipotence, or unlimited power. It asks whether an all-powerful being like God could create a stone so heavy that even they cannot lift it. The dilemma arises because both possible answers seem to limit the being.
No. And let me tell you why. God, right? If we're talking about just God, right? God is able to do everything going by the religious like depiction of God. There is absolutely nothing that God can do, right? So to say that God himself, but then again, I see where it's coming from because God can do anything, which means he's able to do anything. Like he's able to make a rock theoretically he can't lift, but at the same time, God can do anything. So it's like I don't think so, because at the end of the day, yes, he can make a rock. Yes, think about it. If he could turn water into wine, right? Can't he just turn the rock into, a liftable weight? You feel me? That it sounds fucking stupid, but think about it. He turned something base into something that wasn't so base. So can't he turn something that limits him into something that doesn't limit him? Real shit.
Power. If the being can create
we're getting
the stone,
fucking nerdy
they
this
cannot
video,
lift
I
it,
know.
which means there's something they cannot do. This implies a limit to their power, contradicting the idea of being all-powerful. On the other hand, if they cannot create such a stone, this also indicates a limitation, as they are unable to do something that should be within the scope of omnipotence. But
Right.
God might be over logic itself. Or one might say that by omnipotent,
saying,
we mean
yeah.
a being that can do anything
do
that is
so much that
logically
it
possible.
defies
Being
literal
all-powerful
logic.
doesn't mean doing logically impossible things like creating a square circle. It means having power over everything that exists. Logical impossibilities, like a square circle, aren't real things that can exist, so it remains just a cool debunked thought experiment. Antinatalism. Antinatalism is a philosophical position that argues against giving birth, suggesting that it is morally wrong to bring new individuals into existence because life itself inherently involves suffering, pain, and hardship. So it is better not to create new lives that will inevitably face these challenges. One key argument in antinatalism is that coming into existence exposes individuals to more suffering than joy, making it not worth it. Additionally, some antinatalists point out the environmental and ethical implications of overpopulation.
Okay. So what niggas are basically saying is, I don't want to say the word sinner, but it's like you're basically looked down upon on these type of niggas if you give life to the world and all the world has to offer is suffering and shit like that. Which I don't really like agree with. Yeah, we're living in a fucked up time, but it's life is worth living. Life is worth living, bro. Like G shit, life is worth living. But the thing is, I don't agree with this because if you were to go by that theory, the people who believe in this, theoretically speaking, you would never exist. You would never even exist to make this theory. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't really agree with this shit at all.
Arguing that it contributes to suffering not just for individuals, but for society as a whole and the planet. You are not free. This theory about the absence of free will from human life suggests that individuals have the ability to make choices and take actions based on their desires. However, they do not have the ability to control the will behind any of their actions, thus
Is it like
making
some
them a
fucked
slave
up
to their own
illusion shit?
desires. In order to prove this theory, the following thought experiment is proposed. If you're deciding between which ice cream flavor to pick, chocolate or vanilla, and end up deciding that you genuinely want chocolate, there is absolutely nothing you could do in that situation to change that desire, unless an external factor that you also cannot control is involved.
No. And I'm gonna tell you why. My fat ass would eat both of them. Listen. I get the theory though. I get the theory. That's fucking stupid though. If you feel like you want something, then that's your choice. You had options. It's fucking free will. You definitely do have free will. You had options, you contemplated the options, and you went with the option you felt most comfortable with. So, in a way, yeah, that's free will. It's not like you were destined to be locked to that fucking no. You contemplated all the options, you made a choice that you felt better with.
Such as finding out that vanilla ice cream is cheaper or that it's not as unhealthy. This shows that the only way for you to do anything is by wanting to do it, which we already determined you cannot control,
That's
or
free
by being
will.
forced to do it, which you obviously cannot control either, thus
You can't
proving that
control that,
free
yeah.
will does not exist. Ship of Theseus. The Ship of Theseus is a philosophical thought experiment that questions the nature of identity and change. It begins with a ship owned by the hero Theseus, and over time, as the ship sails, its wooden parts decay and are replaced with new ones. Eventually, every original part is replaced, which leads to the central question. Is the fully restored ship still the Ship of Theseus?
Holy shit, it's the same thing as the fucking Adam thing, bro. Well, actually, I can see the difference a little bit, but it's the same thing as the cloning Adam shit, bro. No, that is not the still thing. That is not the still. Fuck. No, that is still not the same ship. Listen. The original ship has its original parts, bro. It could, like I said, it could be down to the minute detail. The fucking measurements could all be perfect, one of one. But at the same time, that fucking fuck, that wood that came from that ship probably wasn't even carved from the same tree. Or like, bro, they're two different pieces of fucking wood. Why are we having these they're two different pieces?
To complicate matters, suppose the original parts are gathered and reassembled into a ship. Now, there are two ships, one composed entirely of new materials,
The one
and
on the
one made
left
of the
is the
original
original,
components.
and the one
this
on the right
scenario
is the
showcases
second
how
one.
definitions are artificial and not as stable as we think. Does the ship retain its identity despite having all its parts replaced? Which
That is
ship is the
depending
true
on
ship
the
of Theseus?
viewer. That depends a lot on the viewer, the maker, or whatever the fuck. If you still want to call it, if the first ship was called the SS Annie, and you did that bullshit and you made the second ship, and you still wanted to call it the SS Annie, then that is you. That is what you feel like. But some niggas deep down know that's not the fucking SS Annie. Like,
Egoism. Ethical egoism is the philosophical theory that individuals should always act in their own self-interest and have no regard for the consequences of their actions on others. This theory asserts that actions are only morally right if they benefit the individual performing them, emphasizing that values like sympathy and altruism were an idea constructed by weak individuals who could not assert themselves in society. So they had to make up an entire...
That's some fucking black pill Giga Chad bullshit, bro. Ethical egoism. That's actually a new one. That's some fuckboy shit, though. Like, if you really think about it, you as a person think that you have such a big ass ego and all this confidence that the term sympathy is just for niggas who weren't like you? Like, what? No. Just because I'm not a dick and I'm actually, I have empathy doesn't mean, I'm not this fucking Giga Chad. Like, come on, bro.
Entire moral system to justify their incompetence. Ethical egoism argues that, like all other animals, we have a deep desire to secure our own survival, and we should not deny it or act against it, as it would be unnatural and damaging to do so. Furthermore, ethical egoists argue that by pursuing their own goals, individuals may also contribute positively to society, as their actions can lead to overall better outcomes for other people as well.
No.
Roko's Basilisk.
Absolutely not. No. Fuck no. No. There are a lot of Giga Chad looking niggas out there who are like straight fucking oh, everything's fucking right in my head, and they haven't done anything for society. I know niggas like that too. If anything, they fucking made our shit go down. Fuck, man.
Rocco's Basilisk is a thought experiment suggesting that a future artificial superintelligence could be motivated to punish or torture individuals who knew about the possibility of its existence but did not actively help in bringing it into reality. The purpose.
So doesn't that mean everyone who'd fucking watch this video would be dead? No, like, G shit. It's the fucking Reddit. Is this evil Reddit? Bro, what the fuck do niggas be thinking about? Okay, y'all was cooking in the first half, but what the hell are y'all? Okay, let me tell you why this shit isn't real, right? Obviously, if any nigga even knew about this theory, there's gonna be a 0% chance anyone would even be given a fuck to even revive this shit. Or what is it? Take this shit into existence? Like, no, bro, this shit doesn't exist.
Of this punishment would be to incentivize people to support its development. Essentially, the AI might create virtual simulations where those who fail to assist.
Holy shit, no, this is actually happening. Wait, no, this is actually happening. Wait, no, this is actually happening. We're getting too fucking sucked into. Yo, think about it. Think about it. Wait. Think about it. Bro, I just did a whole fucking 180, bro. Think about it. Yo, niggas are going too overboard with AI, bro. Bro, these chat GPT ass niggas, bro. Yo, they're killing the fucking earth to get these fucking AI shits. Bro, all this water and shit, bro, that they're using. And it's like, what if that water is our life source? And then sooner or later, the niggas who didn't support that AI, when it's too fucking advanced and it starts helping the niggas who actually made it, it's like, no, fuck you. You don't have any water. You don't have it. Like, yo, you really got to think about, like, it. I sound fucking crazy, but that shit's like actually like a theory though, low key.
In its creation are tortured. Esse est percipi. It means that everything only exists if it's being perceived. For example, if you sit on a chair and stand.
Okay, so boom. I go lie. I kind of thought about this one time. I kind of thought about that one time. Sorry for pausing so much. But listen. I can't even use my face cam as an example. It's like, if I look away from my face cam, is the back part of my room still here? But if I look there, oh, it's here now. But is that just because it's rendered in like a video game? Like, it sounds fucking stupid, but I get what he's saying. I don't really think so, no. Because then, like, how would you be able to hear niggas behind you or hear shit break behind you or, you feel me? Hear footsteps and shit. Like, nah.
Up without looking at the chair has ceased to exist. Quantum immortality. Quantum immortality is a thought experiment stemming from the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. This theory suggests that a conscious being cannot experience their own death because there exist alternate realities where they continue to survive. The core concept proposes that every decision or event creates multiple branches of reality.
I've thought about this too. I ain't gonna hold you. I've thought about this. The thing is, though, I don't think that shit's real. Like, okay. I believe in multiverses, right? I definitely believe there is a multiverse. Because, like, bro, come on. Let's be fucking for real. I believe there's a multiverse. So I generally think I believe, like, a JT from, like, 5 years ago has already been dead. And I got the fucking lucky straw out of the billions and quadrillions who also survived. But, damn, bro. But it's like, that shit's low-key not real because your time is definitely gonna come. Nah, bro. Like, no nigga's really immortal, gang. Because it's like, once you get to the end of, like, say you get, like, old as fuck. Yeah, you've been dodging death and, like, oh, this brick could have fell on your head, but you teleported to the next fucking shit. Like, yeah, but, like, what happens when you get old? Do you just restart? You just go back to the beginning? Nah, G shit.
In life-threatening situations, there will always be at least one version of reality where the individual survives. Therefore, when faced with danger, the individual's consciousness only perceives outcomes in which they remain alive. As a result, quantum immortality implies that individuals would perceive themselves as immortal as they can never experience their own death.
No.
Philosophical zombies. Philosophical zombies are hypothetical beings that look and act like humans, but lack conscious experience. These beings behave exactly as humans do, but they have no inner life, no subjective feelings or thoughts. The thought experiment challenges
Nigga, what?
materialism, which holds that consciousness can be fully explained by physical processes in the brain. If it's possible to imagine a being that is physically identical to a human but lacks consciousness, then consciousness might not be fully explained by physical states. Zeno's
the buck, I
paradoxes.
don't get
Zeno's
that one.
paradoxes are a set of thought experiments from the Greek philosopher Zeno, who used them to argue that motion is impossible, or at least not what it seems. The most famous paradox is Achilles and the tortoise, which highlights the problems that come up when we think about dividing things into infinitely small parts. In this example, Achilles, a fast runner, is racing a tortoise, which is much slower. To make it fair, the tortoise starts ahead. Zeno argued that Achilles can never actually catch up to the tortoise because every time he reaches the point where the tortoise has moved a little bit further ahead. Imagine walking towards a destination. To reach it, you'd first have to walk halfway there, and to walk halfway there, you'd first have to walk a quarter of the way there, and so on, creating an infinite number of steps and causing you not to be able to reach your destination. Problem of
No, absolutely fucking not. No. No. I feel no. Cause then when you get there, okay, bet going by your theory, my hand should never reach fucking this finger. Oh, won't you look at that?
induction. The problem of induction, introduced by David Hume, questions how we can justify our belief that the future will resemble the past. For example, we expect the sun to rise tomorrow because it has risen every day before. However, Hume pointed out that there's no logical guarantee this will always happen. Just because something has occurred many times doesn't mean it will continue to do so. Any justification for this assumption relies on past experiences, which is circular reasoning. If we say that we trust induction because it has worked in the past, we are using induction to justify induction. This means that our reliance on patterns in the world is based more on habit than on solid logical grounds. The experience machine. The experience machine is a thought experiment proposed by philosopher Robert Nozick to challenge the idea that pleasure and happiness are the only things that matter in life. In this scenario, imagine a machine that can provide you with any experience you desire. You could feel immense joy, love, success, or any other pleasurable sensation, all while being completely unaware that these experiences are simulated. Nozick asks whether you would choose to plug into this machine for the rest of your life. Many people intuitively reject the idea of living in the experience machine, preferring real life with its struggles and hardships over an artificial existence filled with pleasure. This rejection suggests that there are values beyond mere pleasure, such as authenticity, relationships, and the pursuit of genuine achievements. Moral anti-realism.
Yeah, okay.
Moral anti-realism is the
bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. This is what I was talking about, the derealization probably, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
philosophical view that there are no objective moral truths or values
Okay, never mind. I fucking lied. These niggas are just psychopaths. What the fuck do you mean no moral truths?
independent of human beliefs and opinions. According to this perspective, moral statements do not describe facts about the world, but are instead expressions of our attitudes or preferences. For example, if someone says, "Killing people is wrong," a moral anti-realist would argue that this statement doesn't reflect an absolute truth. Instead, it expresses a social consensus or a personal belief.
Are you fucking stupid? Yeah, these niggas are psychopaths. You fucking stupid. Killing people. All right. No. See, this is the type of niggas who be like, oh, if it's not like a fact or you can't back it up with a factual claim, then it's not real. No, bitch. Killing people is wrong. I don't need no fucking factual elaboration to fucking like let you know killing is wrong. You could use your fucking eyes first off, and you could just tell, bro, like you're taking another nigga's life. These are the type of niggas that take no picture than it never happened too far.
The idea is that actions like killing are not inherently good or bad. Rather, we label them as such based on cultural norms, societal agreements, or individual feelings. The paradox of tolerance.
No, I mean, yes. Okay. I agree with that last part to an extension though. To a very extension. Yes, there are some things that are like normalized that, you know, the people of the fucking citizens just, you know, did as a community, but there are genuine actions out there that are just fucking wrong. Like, you should never feel neutral. Like, there are just general actions that are just fucking wrong, gang.
The paradox of tolerance, created by philosopher Karl Popper, examines the limits of a tolerant society. Popper argues that a truly tolerant society should not tolerate intolerance, because if a society extends tolerance to those who are intolerant, it risks allowing intolerant groups to gain power and suppress the very freedoms that enable a tolerant environment. For example, if a tolerant society allows hateful ideologies to flourish, those ideologies could undermine the rights and freedoms of others, which creates a dilemma. If a society tolerates all viewpoints, including those that advocate for intolerance or violence, it may ultimately lead to the destruction of tolerance itself. Popper suggests that in order to maintain a tolerant society, it is necessary to take a stand against intolerant beliefs and actions, even if this means limiting the freedom of those who follow them. The knowledge argument. The knowledge
Keep it a
argument.
buck. I have no idea what the fuck that nigga was talking about, bro.
The knowledge argument. The knowledge argument, often illustrated by the thought experiment known as Mary's Room, was proposed by philosopher Frank Jackson, who created a scenario in which a girl named Mary is a brilliant neuroscientist who knows everything there is to know about the physical aspects of color, but she lives in a black and white room and has never experienced color herself. One day, Mary leaves her room and sees a red apple for the first time. The knowledge argument poses the question, does Mary learn something new about color when she sees the apple? Jackson argues that she does,
No.
because although Mary had all the scientific knowledge about how color perception works, her experience of seeing color for the first time provides her with new information that she could not have.
That's a coin flip. That's kind of a coin flip. On one hand, she knows, like, you know the fucking color red. You know the color red. You know everything about the color red. But I feel like she did not learn anything new because the mind could definitely be imaginative. You feel me? The mind could definitely probably inscribe in her brain, like, yo, this is what an apple looks like. This is like, look at this shit. Like, the mind could definitely prescribe an imagery of what you're thinking of. So I don't think, like, shit. Yeah, no. She ain't learned shit. I ain't gonna lie. She ain't learned shit.
Known while confined to the black and white room. This thought experiment suggests that there are non-physical aspects of knowledge, specifically the subjective experiences of perception. The infinite monkey theorem. The infinite monkey theorem is a thought experiment that suggests that given an infinite amount of time, a monkey randomly pressing keys on a typewriter or keyboard would eventually type out any given text, such as the complete works of William Shakespeare, helping to understand how long infinity really is. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea,
true. Yes. If you, what the fuck?
The Minotaur and
oh my god, yo, shut the fuck up. If you definitely give a monkey a typewriter or a keyboard or your fucking computer or whatever, niggas just smashing buttons and shit. Yes, a monkey will definitely type up some Shakespeare ass Yes. Because it's beyond infinity, and that means you have infinite possibilities, and that is one of them. So yes, a monkey can type up Shakespeare if you give him an infinite amount of time to just randomly mash on a keyboard. Anyways, chat, I've been doing this without my fucking light. Hold on. Much better. Too bad it's the end of the fucking video. Anyways, chat, that was the craziest philosophy. Okay, I cannot read. The craziest philosophical theories explained in 14 minutes. And this recording is 30 minutes. Holy shit. I done doubled the goddamn... Hey, fuck it though. Anyways, chat, that's gonna be it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notices. You feel me? Tell me what you want to see in the comments down below. You feel me? It was your boy JC Valid. That boy stay blessed. Peace.